I have been procrastinating this video all day. It's literally a Q&A video. It's like the easiest video ever. Come on, Kyle. All right, let's answer some questions about the PCT. I just spit all over the camera. If you are not aware, me and my hiking partner, Flossie, are gonna be attempting a PCT, Pacific Crest Trail through hike very shortly. We're leaving in May 2022. And for this video, I just wanted to keep it nice and simple. Keep it simple, stupid. And I'm just gonna be answering some questions from the community tab on YouTube. And by the way, if you missed it and you wanted to ask some questions, but you couldn't because you missed it, you gotta subscribe, dude. Subscribe to the channel. That way, next time I ask you for questions, you will see it and you can ask me the questions. Also gonna be answering some questions from my Patreon as well. That's enough of an intro. Let's get into the questions. Oh, they're right here. Ben asks, will you be bringing a camp chair? Yes. That's a joke, obviously. I'm not bringing a camp chair. And speaking of jokes, you know what's a joke? Camp chairs. Timothy asks, does the PCT require you to meet a more strenuous pace than the AT? Is it more logistically complicated? Well, Timothy, I haven't actually hiked the PCT yet, so I don't know. But I mean, of course, I can kind of give an estimate based on the amount of miles and the amount of time we have to do it. Normally, I would say it's pretty similar to the AT. However, Flossie and I have a very late start date because I said earlier we're leaving in May. I'm actually gonna answer another question about that in a second. I calculated the amount of miles that we have to average per day in order to finish within a realistic time period, and it's 19, which is a lot. Flossie's not as worried about it. I don't wanna say I'm worried, but I am a little bit on edge about it. However, when I did the Appalachian Trail, I started on May 14th and I finished on October 1st. That's roughly the same time period that we're gonna have to be out there. And I've been told that you can average higher miles on the PCT. So I'm hoping that we can do it. We'll see. And another question about starting in May. Ginger Rush asks, why are you starting in May? It'll be so hot and you'll need so much more water. Yeah, honestly, I would have liked to start earlier. I think like mid-April, maybe even early April, maybe, I don't really know, but I feel like that would have been better. However, because Flossie and I are hiking together, we had to get a permit for the same day. And so, unfortunately, just because of the way the permit lottery system works, May was like the earliest that we could both get a permit on the same day. We also currently live in a house that has a lease that we're locked into until June 1st, which like if we were gonna leave earlier than May, we'd be eating a lot of rent. So that was a little bit of a factor as well. But honestly, it was mostly the permit thing. And lots of people hike the PCT starting in May. Yes, the odds are more against you when you have a later start date, but we're experienced hikers. Yeah, I think we're f***ed. William Wallace Brouwer de Burghoven III asks, how much wood? 6. Craig Turner asks, have you and Flossie set up a contingency plan for if you start getting sick of each other? I imagine hiking the whole trail is hard enough, but staying on the same page with plans and mileage is extra tough. So that's a great question. I've gotten that question quite a bit. Flossie and I have been living together for the past year and a half. We hiked half of the Appalachian Trail together. We'll definitely butt heads every now and then. You know, that's just how life goes. When you spend enough time with someone, you're bound to butt heads eventually, but we have a great friendship. We very rarely fight, and when we do, it always is resolved very quickly.
Yo, what's up? What are you filming? Oh,
Mine your way.
Get out of the way.
We've never gotten in any fist fights, but if we did, he would kick my ass, so I really hope we don't. And so I'm hoping we don't get sick of each other. And then in terms of the logistics, being on the same page when it comes to like mileage and all that stuff, like I said, we hiked half of the Appalachian Trail together. We've done tons of miles together since then, just up here in the Northeast. Our hiking styles are basically exactly the same. I know things can change, but for the most part, we've like grown as hikers kind of together over these past few years. And so I'm honestly not worried about us being on different pages in terms of the logistics and stuff. We have our routine down, all the resupplying and the hitchhiking and going into town and stuff like that. We never had any issues on the Appalachian Trail and any of our hikes since then. You know, maybe we'll get a little sick of each other, but as far as the logistics go and like the mileage and stuff like that, I'm really not too worried about that. Another really common question I've been getting is about who or how the videos that I'm gonna be posting while we're out there are gonna be edited. And funny enough that I bring that up, this totally wasn't planned at all, because look at this question right here from Experience Over Things. This gentleman wrote, heard you're getting some ugly nerd to edit your PCT videos, ... I'd like to introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend that's gonna be editing my PCT vlogs while we're out there. His name is, but first, time for this video's sponsor. That's a joke. Well, actually, no, it's not. Drink Element is sponsoring this video. Guys, if you are getting thirsty, if you're sweating, you know, you're losing the salt, you're losing the electrolytes while you're hiking, you gotta replace that stuff, and you gotta do it with Drink Element. And it's honestly an amazing thing that they've sponsored so much of my content and supported this channel so much, because I love it. First of all, it tastes amazing. You guys have absolutely no idea what their crazy flavors are like. Of course, they have their standard flavors, you know. They've got orange salt, they've got citrus salt, which is my favorite, by the way. They've got watermelon salt, but they also experiment a lot. I don't even know if you can call it an experiment at this point, because they're pretty popular. Chocolate salt is a flavor that they have. And I know what you're thinking, because this is honestly what I thought. When I first heard about this, I was like, I don't know, like I'll try it, but that sounds a little sketchy, like chocolate salt. You should try it. It's actually amazing. They have other flavors like mango chili and lemon habanero. It's just got a good taste, and it's got the electrolytes that you need. Now, I'm not asking you to buy this. You might be like, what is the sponsorship? No, I'm not asking you to buy this, because Drink Element is actually gonna hook you up. If you go to drinklmnt.com/KyleHatesHiking, you can get a sample pack of 8 different flavors, including some of the crazy ones I was just talking about there. You just have to pay the cost of shipping. It's just a few dollars if you're in the US. Go check it out yourself. drinkelement.com/KyleHatesHiking. One more time, go get your free sample pack. Let's talk to this mysterious editor. His name's Luke. He hiked the Appalachian Trail last year, and earlier today we chatted for a few minutes about the role that he's gonna play editing the content that I'm gonna be producing. Why am I on the PCT, dude? Let's talk to Luke. All right, so I have Luke here. Luke is gonna be editing the videos while we're out on the PCT, and he's generous enough to do it completely for free. Anyways, no, he's not doing it for free. I'm gonna be paying him $1,000 per second per video. Thank you for coming on here, and thank you for saying yes to this absolutely ridiculous freaking PCT project. It's awesome, and I'm glad to have you aboard.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. I honestly, when I saw your little community tab post saying you were looking for an editor, I was like, oh, you know, he's probably gonna find some hot shot. But anyway, I'm just learning how to edit, and I was super surprised when I ended up getting it. So I'm really psyched.
I mean, Luke, you kind of already know this, but for everybody watching, the reason I went with Luke was because I felt like, based on our initial conversations, he like really understood A, what I was going for, and B, the details behind a lot of my previous videos. You were even asking me about details I hadn't even thought of, like the question you asked me about my font and all this stuff. So why don't you tell people about your AT thru hike a little bit? Because Luke isn't just some bum off the side of the street.
I was gonna say, you know, finding someone, not just someone who can put a couple clips together and slap some music behind it, you know, but finding someone who understands what thru hiking is and has done it themselves, you know. So I did the AT last year in 2021. I started on March 14th, and I finished on September 19th, and I didn't even think that I would finish the whole thing. I was just thinking I was getting on for a couple weeks or a couple of months, but time allowed, and I ended up finishing. So, and then it screwed me up just like it screws up a whole lot of other folks, you know.
What do you think is gonna be the hardest part of pulling this off? Not the hike itself, but the videos and the content and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, just part of life on trail is every day is different, and finding time where you have to be, because you have to be purposeful in uploading that footage, you know, up to the interwebs so that I can pull it off the interwebs and do what I need to with it, you know. So it's just going to require a lot of back and forth communication and being really intentional on both of our ends, with you being out in the woods, you know.
I'm excited to be able to make content without actually having to edit for a little while. That'll be, I do love the editing, and a lot of people are maybe even wondering why I'm going with an editor in the first place, because a lot of other thru hikers who vlog their hikes just edit themselves on trail. I just don't know if I have it in me to do that. I've never tried, so I can't say for sure, but I don't know. It just seems like it would take away from the hike for me. I also don't think the content would be as high quality if I had to worry about filming it and editing it as well. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I am so grateful to have Luke aboard. He's an awesome dude. He's an awesome hiker. So Luke, thank you for coming on here. here, and where can people go subscribe to your channel?
You can subscribe to me at Experience Over Things. I know that's a funny name. The new one is in the works. If somebody has a good idea, you can drop a name. But yeah, you can subscribe to me there. I am putting out my own content, so I'm putting out gear videos. I'm doing a Pinhoti through hike, so you can follow along with that. And yeah, I'm excited. I think that this is gonna be a good system. I think we are gonna put out a better product than if Kyle had just, edited it on trail.
Thanks, Luke. On to the next question. All right, let's jump over to the Patreon for these next few questions. By the way, I'll keep this plug short because we already did a sponsor, but patreon.com/KyleHatesHiking if you want to go the extra mile and support this content. Okay, Annie asked an amazing question, and to be honest, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be able to answer this one very well, but Annie said, when times get tough, what's gonna keep you going? Also, what are your reasons for hiking the PCT? Whew, I could probably do a whole video just on this because I'm gonna ramble here, but it's really hard for me to think about this stuff without kind of drawing on my experience from the AT. I will say that there was a lot of tough times on the AT, but I never really thought about quitting. And I think what kept me going was just that I was very determined from day one to hike the entire trail. That was my goal. That's what I was out there to accomplish, and believe it or not, some of you know this already, but a lot of people do these long distance hikes for different reasons. There's a lot of people out there that maybe are more out there just to have a good time, and they're out there for the experience or whatever, and they're not as concerned with actually hiking the entire trail, and I'm not gonna really get into that now. Everyone's got their reasons, it's all good, but I will say on the AT, from day one, I was trying to hike the entire trail. That was my goal, and it's very similar on the PCT this time, and so I think when times get tough, I'm just gonna keep thinking about Canada. I'm gonna keep that goal right at the front of my mind. This time, however, I have a whole new reason to keep going when times get tough, and that's you guys. I'm gonna be answering to thousands of people on here, dude. I'm gonna be putting my money where my mouth is, because I've been talking so much over these past few years about how I'm a thru hiker, like I did the AT, all this stuff. Now I gotta do it again, and there's a little bit of pressure there for sure. And my reasons for hiking the PCT, I will say as soon as I finish the Appalachian Trail, and Flossie's in the same boat, we've talked about this a lot before. As soon as I finish the Appalachian Trail, I knew that I wanted to Triple Crown. I wanted to have an amazing experience like the AT all over again and all over again. Now, obviously the PCT is gonna only be the second trail of the Triple Crown if I'm successful, but that goal of Triple Crowning is definitely like a huge reason for why I am doing the PCT. When I started the Appalachian Trail, I was very focused on just the Appalachian Trail. I had never even thought about Triple Crowning. I had never thought about doing any thru hikes beyond the AT, but it's different now. I want a Triple Crown. I gotta hike the PCT in order to do that, and I'm very fortunate that I finally have an opportunity to get out there and give it a shot. Jenny said, will you be doing a how I pack my pack video? I don't really know if I'm gonna do that. I probably should. I know a lot of people do those videos, and I don't think I've ever done one like that before. Because I'm carrying like some new gear and like things are a little bit different hiking out west that I'm not used to here on the East Coast, I'm honestly not really 100% sure yet how I'm gonna pack my pack. I know how I'm gonna do most of it, but there's a few items like my water bladder with like 2 liters of water in it. I don't know, like I kind of want to put it on top of my pack, but I'm not really sure because it's like the sun's just gonna bake it all the time. So like I could kind of BS a how I pack my pack video for the PCT, but the truth is I think it's probably gonna change and evolve as I get some more experience out there. So I don't want to BS you guys. So probably not. I'm sorry. Chris Bentley said, with the late start time, do you think you'll get to Canada before the snow? I don't know. I hope so. We're gonna try to, that's for damn sure. Mike in the Woods said, I know injuries are one of your biggest concerns, but specifically, which injuries do you think will be the most likely to happen? Yeah, injuries are a huge concern for sure, and it's hard to say like which ones worry me the most. I will just say that my feet are the area that I'm worried about the most. Those of you that follow the channel for a while probably know about my incident on the Cranberry Lake 50 this past summer. Ow, ow, ow. I had a foot injury. It sucked, and so I think I'm probably most worried about my feet. I never have really had any issues with my knees, thank the Lord, but you also never know. Like tons of random injuries happen to people all the time on thru hikes. So, and then Nick asked, what do you expect to be the hardest thing about the PCT over the AT? Just the fact that we're gonna be in an entire new environment. I think that's gonna be hard because I've done so much hiking here on the East Coast. I'm a super experienced hiker, but we're gonna be in a completely different environment. I've never been to the desert before. I've never even been to any of the states on the PCT before. So I think that is definitely gonna be one of the hardest things, especially at the beginning, is just getting used to a new environment. At the same time, it could kind of be a positive as well, right? Because Maybe it'll provide like a new perspective for us because maybe we're just a little bit sick of hiking in the trees here in Vermont. Other hard things on the PCT that you don't have to worry about on the AT are, let's see, wildfires. That's a huge one. Definitely worried about fires. That makes me nervous. I think that's gonna be one of the hardest things as well, but we're not out there yet. Who knows? Maybe the fires won't happen this year. If you're not subscribed yet, you gotta do that. We're gonna be having so much fun out there. We're gonna definitely have a lot of hard times too, and we're gonna get it all on video. So if you wanna follow our hike, be sure to subscribe. And also let me know what other like pre-PCT videos you guys wanna see. Any video ideas at all that I can do before I hit the PCT. I'm desperate. No, I'm not. I've got a bunch, but I also wanna hear more. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and thank you guys for watching. Unless your name is Dan Becker. I do not thank you for watching, Dan, but you're not going to watch anyway. You're too busy, you know, making gear videos. Okay,